Hey everyone, Sarah here at Three Little Potters, and today, I'm going to shake this. People have been yelling at me for not shaking my glazes enough. Today I am doing a review of Sand and Sea by Mayco. I haven't used this glaze before, so this will be sort of my first time with this one. See if I like it or not. So my general plan here is I'm going to do it as a base coat on 4 dishes and add some different modifiers to kind of see how it layers. I'm going to do one control dish with it by itself, one over black, one over white, and I've got some Rue stoneware, some brown bear, and then the rest of these tests are going to be on B-Mix. So I will sprinkle in the preview photos as we're glazing so that you kind of get something to look forward to at the end. Yeah, let's get glazing. So I don't know if Mayco is just running a sale or how Mayco glazes are suddenly the affordable glazes. But this glaze, I was basically just, filling up my cart on Blick Art Materials to qualify for free shipping. And I noticed this glaze was only like $10. And I was like, I'm like, oh, if it's good at all, $10, that's a deal. And considering I just bought that coyote glaze for 25, I'm like, $10? I'm like, that's a lot of glaze for $10, So I have hope that this is working. So this was my first layer on this one. I did one coat on these already. I didn't think you wanted to watch me coat 4 dishes exactly the same over and over again. So I'm going to do 2 coats, 2 brushed coats on the dishes that I'm using Sand and Sea as a base. Now, when I say 2 coats, my 2 coats are probably similar to some people's 3 coats. I'm definitely generous when I'm putting on the glaze, and as you should be. Brush marks show less, and it's generally better. Okay. Oops. Now I've got this one all over my fingers. One coat on this as well. Okay, so this is the white. And I'm just going to do one layer over the white. So I really want to see how this impacts the color. Okay, that one's going in the kiln just like that. And this is it over night, which is close to obsidian. It's basically just a clear black glaze that has 5% of 6600 best black stain in it. So I think with this one, because black always does absorb so much glaze, I'm going to go ahead and wait till this dries a little bit and give it a second coat. Ooh, dripping some. This is our Rue stoneware test. And I'm gonna feel like that Rue stoneware looks a bit like beach sand, so I'm going to leave the bottom edge of this dish bare. I really like seeing some of that natural clay sometimes, if I can keep from getting it all over my fingertips. Okay. We'll leave that. For the brown bear clay, normally I would probably dip it in white first, but I'm kind of interested to see how much opacity this glaze has without the white dip, so I think I'll probably give it multiple coats and see what happens here. Hit the spot on this one where my fingers were. Now that has one full coat, and we'll hit that again in a minute once it dries just a little bit. Okay, putting our second layer on this brown bear one. Second layer on this one. And this is our black one. So we're going to do a second coat on that. And then that one will be ready to go in the kiln. Okay, so some of these that already have 2 coats, this one I'm going to go ahead and put some Laguna Blue Nebula over it. And I'm just going to do 1 full coat of Blue Nebula. Okay, this is our roux stoneware test. I'm going to go ahead I think I'm going to go with probably 3 coats on the roux stoneware. That's 2 coats, so we'll come back to that one. And this, I believe, just has 1 coat on it, so we'll go ahead and give this another one. I think, like, on my Magenta Sky video, I really thought I'd only put 1 coat on based on the results, but I had the video footage to prove that I had put 2 coats on, so there's that. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and add Mayco's Seaweed as a modifier. So I think I'll go kind of maybe just a full coat, like 1 coat of seaweed over the whole top. I hear some dogs squeaking in the background, sorry. They have just rediscovered one of their Christmas toys that was hidden under a chair. Okay, so seaweed, 1 coat, going in the kiln like this. Okay, and I wanted to do one with Fuzzy Peach. So you know I always try to do 1 Spectrum, 1 Mayco, 1 Laguna, kind of see how it falls out. Because if 1 Spectrum floating glaze works with a glaze, then it's likely that the others will as well. But sometimes you get some surprising colors. Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of an opening there. We'll see if it moves at all. Okay, that's Fuzzy Peach over Sand and Sea. Setting the ones that I don't want to do anymore over there so I don't accidentally put more on. Okay, I think this is my Sand and Sea 2 coats. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and put some Norse Blue on this one, and then possibly a little bit of light flux too. Well, we'll use Dirty Snow, not the technical light flux, but so this may run all over the place. I'll be careful with it, but that's what that looks like. Okay, let's finish up this one. This is the roux stoneware. 3rd coat going on. Bad dogs everywhere, sorry. All right, we'll let that dry for a second. Last coat on the brown bear clay. Okay. This one is my Norse blue. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a little, and this is, I just watered this down so it's not very thick. A little teeny bit of that on the rim, and then a little more on that inner edge. Okay, so this one is ready to go in the kiln like this. Some more, knocking things around. I have too many things that I'm glazing at once here. Okay, what did we decide we were going to do with this? I think we were just going to put a little bit of light flux on the rim. I believe this is 2 brush coats of sand and sea, and I'm going to put light flux on there. And in this circumstance, I'm using dirty snow as my light flux. I'm going to buy more of the Mayco light flux too, so that you guys can have that as a comparison. All right, the results are out of the kiln, and I'm excited. I think we got some really good tests here. If you were watching my kiln unload, then I basically told you the wrong glazes for sand and sea. I had thought that this was sand and sea and snow, and it took careful rewatching of my glazing video to realize that this is actually fuzzy peach over sand and sea. So yeah, a definite surprise here. And then we'll look at it a little closer in a second. So with the Norse blue test, we had some pinholes, a few imperfections. The night test, terrible crawling. Even a little bit of a spot of crawl on the white dish. So that's a surprise. But with seaweed and Blue Nebula by Laguna, excellent results. And the results on Rue and Brown Bear just couldn't be better. But let's take them all over to the photo stand, look a little more closely. So here we have what was by far my favorite, and this is the 2 coats of sand and sea with fuzzy peach over the top. You know, was not expecting sort of blue purple out of that orangish glaze, so really interesting. Now you can note here that where sand and sea is thin, it definitely goes more of a sand color, and then when you have the multiple coats of it, you're starting to get that blue-green color. This is the 3 brushed coats over Rue stoneware. Really surprised at how smooth and flawless the finish is over the Rue stoneware. This is definitely going to be a go-to glaze for me and that clay. Yeah, just really pretty. I love the fuming too. On the brown bear clay, you can definitely see how it's sort of breaking around on the rim. So this is going to be a glaze, if you're using it on a dark clay, that breaks well over texture. I'd say some pinholes here where the snow touched it. So this was sand and sea 2 coats with snow. It really needs the 3 coats to kind of give it a more opaque finish. If you don't mind sort of the light spots to the more green spots, then it's fine with 2 coats. And here it is with Norse blue. I put a little teeny bit of snow on the rim as well. So my guess here is that the snow is what's causing the pinholing on this glaze. I'm not seeing those problems when it's by itself or fully layered with another less runny glaze. Yeah, you know, again, the 2 coats really going quite clear. And then, you know, where I'm edging on that 3 coats of a glaze, getting more opaque. Here with the seaweed over top, I believe on this one I did do a tiny bit of snow here, but I think it pretty well incorporated into the glaze. We're getting a very metallic mirror effect on this combo. On the outer edge, where it's just sand and sea, I do have a spot here, and I think that was me bumping it against something else, not the glaze itself. That looks like an external problem, but very pretty here. This is our control, sand and sea by itself. So yeah, I would say that this is very easy to apply slightly unevenly. It's definitely, you know, when you're using another glaze over it, it matters less, but when it's by itself, definitely showing, not really brush marks, but definitely the 2 coats, 3 coats to a thinner application definitely shows. And this is it over white. I thought it was interesting that it crawled over white. I'm not used to finding that kind of a result at all. So even here on that edge a little bit. And here is Blue Nebula over top. I really like how this is sort of behaving here. That's really pretty. And here is our mega crawl piece, and you can see it over Hansen with Night Stain, and it definitely did not like this glaze. So this is a pretty big amount of crawl. Hopefully we'll be able to fix it in a refire with a different glaze entirely, but possibly not with that much crawling. So those are a definite no-go. So I think the glaze was definitely strongest where it was layered, had a full layer of something else with it. Fuzzy Peach, Seaweed, and Blue Nebula were by far my strongest. So let me know if this is a glaze that you already have, if it's a glaze that you like, if you have any sort of favorite combos with it. I'd love to hear your own sort of sand and sea results. For me, I think this is a great glaze. I'm really, you know, impressed with it for $10. It's a lot of value. Definitely surprised with how it behaved with the Spectrum floating glazes. And of course, we have a ton of those, so I'm excited to try it with some different ones. But Fuzzy Peach was definitely a go. Yeah, and over the Rue stoneware, it's always a win when you can find something that works well with sort of a rugged buff stoneware. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'd love it if you liked and subscribed. If you're enjoying these glaze reviews, I have more of them planned. Have a good day.